Riding Side Saddle, it's Lisa.
And Tammy.
Here
We're
we
back.
are. Gosh, it's a twofer. So
For us.
Yeah, so the recording schedule doesn't change, but we just saw each other literally 48 hours
I
ago
know.
to record. So Todd's going to be so pleased.
We have 2 in the hopper.
I feel like that is a huge accomplishment for us
I
lately.
know, because we've been like sneaking them in right under the wire. So
If that, yes.
yeah, or
So-
over the wire,
lob it.
around the wire.
Lob it right over.
Yeah.
What wire?
What wire? I was just going to say wire. What wire?
So it is a special week for us
Yeah.
because I am up north and separately so is Tammy.
Right.
So we have had the opportunity to see each other 2 times this week, maybe 3 if
We'll
plans work out for
see
tomorrow.
about tomorrow, yeah.
But oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be great?
My heart is already so full.
Mine is too.
That would make me super happy.
Yeah. Because at home, we live too far away to just get together easily.
Right.
You know, for a couple hours after work or whatever. That's a concerted effort.
It is a
and we meet
commitment.
halfway.
Right,
And
right.
yeah.
So when we in our primary residences, we live an hour away from one another.
Yeah,
So
pretty close.
when we 50 minutes. When we meet in the middle, it's like 25, 30 minutes for each of us.
Right.
So Tuesday when we met to do our most recent recording, we met in the middle and it was like 15 minutes, which was quite splendid.
Yeah.
We met in a little tavern, a
We
saloon.
had dinner.
They called
yeah,
it.
they called it a saloon.
Yep, they did have dinner.
Yeah.
There was lots of people there.
Sure.
It is in a little town named Beaver.
Yeah. Which is Josh's, if he could just pick up and move us somewhere, that's where he would want to move.
Any guy would say, "Hell yeah, I want to move to Beaver. I want to move right in."
And he particularly thinks it's funny because it's right next to Pound and Breed.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't know
There's
what
all sorts of naughty jokes in there.
I don't know what man got free reign to start
I don't either.
like an 18-year-old started choosing city names around
no
here.
idea.
I'm not sure. But
And who signed off on that?
right? Somebody
We'd have to do
clearly
a little,
drunk.
Yeah, they were, the whole town, the whole board was drunk. We'd have to do some research and find out, how long have
Lord.
those names been in existence?
And where did they
And
come
where
from?
did it come from? 'Cause,
Yes.
yeah, that is like an embarrassing sort of joke.
I mean, it's
in Wisconsin's
funny.
Northwoods.
Yes. It's funny. And I have to giggle. I can't.
Josh
I
gets
can't
loads of
not
mileage out of
giggle.
that. Loads of mileage.
And I like crude humor sometimes, so I jump right in.
he thinks we should move to Beaver in a double wide trailer with a redwood deck and polyester curtains, just like that country song.
Perfect.
He's calling me the queen
Of the double wide?
trailer. Yeah.
Well, that's not what you ended up doing.
It is not. No, at all. But if he had, if he could pick his dream life, that's where he would live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Just so he could say it, right? For nothing other than just the shtick.
of course, it would.
Yeah.
It's just a pride thing.
Yes.
It's like when I text messaged you this morning. So we had some furniture delivered.
Yeah.
And they have this. At least we went through a company that uses a GPS to show where the driver is at any given time.
That would be really nice.
Oh my gosh.
Because I also had furniture delivered this week.
Which is why we're both up here
Yeah.
at the same time.
Right.
Haphazardly.
My company did not have GPS. I did not have a phone call. They showed up and I was still in my PJs.
Yeah. And it was early, wasn't it? It was pretty darn
Well,
early.
it wasn't that early, but it was 9 o'clock or 9:15.
Early enough.
Yeah, I
that
was
somebody
not
might
ready.
be in their PJs.
Yeah, I was not ready for the day.
Right.
So, yeah, that was a mad scramble before they,
Can imagine.
knocked on the door.
I can imagine.
Good
well,
grief.
I had that in the back of my head. So,
So you were watching the GPS.
girl, well, I didn't have a GPS information when I got up this morning, so I didn't know what I was dealing with, but I did get myself dressed because I just really was not sure, and I did not want.
You didn't want to be me.
I didn't want to play that over again, Lisa version of it. I would prefer just to laugh at you about it
Yeah.
and handle it on my own.
Yeah,
so thank
great.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't be like Tammy. just get up and get dressed right away.
So anyway, the GPS link comes through. I click it and I'm watching, and it was a little challenging because I just like they changed the time, and I had other things going on, and it was a little challenging.
And you're working remotely, so you're really not wanting your delivery to interfere with a meeting or a call or what have you.
Yes. So the time was changing.
Yeah.
And I was watching them, and I was having problems logging into my computer this morning because yesterday was my first day back from leave.
Yep.
And of course, nothing technology wise works out well. So I'm still having problems. This morning I was still having problems logging in. I had no idea what my meeting schedule looked like for the morning.
Because you couldn't see your calendar.
Because I couldn't get logged in.
Yeah.
This timeline for the furniture delivery kept changing. And GPS doesn't get you here very well.
Yeah.
So,
right.
So it gets really confusing for somebody who doesn't know.
I mean, there literally isn't a driveway until you get to your driveway. You're driving through
a farm field. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Right.
It is remote.
So if you don't know, and you think you're going to drive through the field, it must not be right.
If you don't know, you don't know.
You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And Lisa might not get her furniture.
Right.
That was the problem.
So I was watching GPS very closely this morning. And as they drove through Beaver, I couldn't help myself when I say, so there's a delivery coming through Beaver. Towards Beaver right now. It should be here shortly.
Uh-huh.
Completely inappropriate.
Of course.
I literally could not walk past that one.
No, you couldn't, and you didn't.
It was the perfect setup. I should have probably sent that information to Josh.
You should have. Yeah. Got a delivery coming through Beaver right now. Yeah, nice. Nice.
That's the full truth.
Right. He would have laughed out loud.
Well, maybe this is the one episode he'll listen to.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. He still says, I'm not a woman. Why would I listen to that? Your loss. Don't listen. I don't want you to listen.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So you had a new neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
Walking through the neighborhood yesterday.
So when I say we're remote,
yeah,
we definitely are remote. Actually, it's only about 2 hours from where I live, so it's not hours and hours and hours, but it is surrounded by woods and it's just remote.
It is. So
first off, yesterday morning, I was outside and I saw in the woods an animal run through, and I couldn't tell what it was. It was too far away and it was too fast. I knew it was some kind of a dog of some sort.
Oh.
And based on the look of it, I wasn't I thought maybe a coyote. It looked a little big to be a coyote. Then I thought it was a wolf. And I'm like, well, it's not like I've seen many wolves face to face.
No.
It also looked a little bit like a German Shepherd. And then I wasn't sure if a wolf looks like a German Shepherd. So
a little.
Yeah. So it was going through the woods and I was like, all right, so there could be a wolf right here where I can see it. And then a little while went by and, long story short, it was a German Shepherd. He had tags and a collar and everything. He was taking a little dip.
Ran away.
Yeah, something happened. Or he's local to the area and just likes to come on over here. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Oof,
I did not know. That
sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was friendly or not. So I certainly wasn't going to go outside and check his tags because I didn't want to have my face bitten off.
Right.
My dogs were completely freaking out in the house. I had to close the blinds so they couldn't see him because they were ready to, their 30-pound selves go on
They're so fierce.
all out attack.
And fluffy.
Yes. So that was in the morning. I just had a lot of wildlife stuff yesterday. I went out on the pier and I sat out there. and I watched turtles.
Yeah.
Painted turtles.
So cute.
Oh my gosh. I sent Malachi a little video of like there were two little turtles under the water and you could see them moving, the the ripples of the water were moving, and then suddenly one would poke his head up and they'd put it back down and
he loves those turtles.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I took a video of a snapper turtle a couple of weeks ago, and it's a very big snapper turtle.
Yeah, don't get too close to that.
No. And he looked me square in the face.
Oh boy.
For, I can't even tell you, a minute. It was probably a minute.
You want to dance?
Yeah.
Do you?
Until I got scared and I got up and walked away. But he had me like locked in his eyes.
What are you going to do?
So I videoed that and I sent it, and Malachi like makes Deidre replay it daily because he loves it. So I figured I'd give her some new material.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I was explaining the painted turtles and you know how they pop their heads up and they must be playing hide and seek. And I love that. Anyway, so I sat out there for quite some time. It was like an hour. I go in and you know, finishing out my evening. And it was probably actually, well, it was earlier than this.
Yeah.
It was probably about 6 o'clock. And I looked out the window into the same area where I saw the German Shepherd initially. And there is a big black bear.
Nope.
I about shit myself.
No.
So I watch the community page of this area a lot, and you know, it's on my Facebook feed, and people post pictures of bears all the time. They're usually at night, like they'll catch them in their hunting cam or whatever, or if they have a ring door, something like that. So I know that there are bears around here. There are actually bears near my home, 2 hours south of here right now. Which
seems not pretty far south, doesn't it?
Yeah, they are not common, but in the last couple of years,
they've been moving further south.
Yeah, they've been around. In fact, last year one got hit on the highway.
Oh gosh,
which sucks. But they're around. Yeah. So I knew bears are around here. I just didn't. I don't know if I thought that, you know, I had like a bubble around our property.
Well, kind of. You were here mostly in the winter. I mean, you were here later in the summer all fall. But, but you've really been here in the winter. The bears are hibernating. So it wasn't on your radar to look for or expect to see one.
I would never expect to see one like at the edge of my property.
No. Which clearly they don't know where the survey lines are.
Oh, Lord. Like if I were hiking out here on some back trails, like you'd be kind of silly to imagine that there wouldn't be a bear somewhere in the vicinity, right? Like,
I guess so. I mean, I've hiked. I wouldn't say I'm an avid hiker, but it does not occur to me that I'm sharing the woods with anything bigger than a deer.
Well, up
right?
north,
and they're more afraid of me than I am of them. So
up north,
yeah,
I know hiking,
but it doesn't that still doesn't occur to me because it's not something that you're
familiar with.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a bubble around you too.
Sure.
Like that is exactly how I felt. Like, yeah, okay, there's bears around here, but they're not going to be near me.
Here.
Holy
shit. It was. Yeah, it was.
I happened to have my phone very close. So there's a campground right next to it, like on the other side of our property line. And I saw her walk up to the picnic table and like put her front paws on the picnic table and like look up. And then I was like, holy shit, that's a bear. Where's my phone?
Oh.
And then I quickly, I don't even know how I did it. Okay, here, I'm going to be blabbering on and on.
Go ahead.
Here is a problem that I have consistently, which tells me I am getting fucking old. Okay. So usually when I use my phone I take pictures versus videos. On the rare occasion that I use my video, I sometimes think I press the record button. And I don't, which was take one of Malachi's painted turtle.
Oh.
And then I figured out that I didn't push record, and I thought that I did. So I said all of this bullshit for nothing. And then when I figure it out, I push the button again because I'm ending the video, and all you hear is 15 seconds of me cursing.
Don't send that to his mom for him to listen to before he goes to bed.
I'm like, I am so old.
You don't know how to use your technology.
Yes, I thought that I was recording. I'm not recording. Then I am recording when I'm bitching about not recording. It is a shit show. So I grabbed my phone and turned it to video so quickly that I wasn't sure that I was actually, because I was freaking out. Right.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was able to get like a 15-second video of the bear walking through. My heart.
I cannot even. I just can't. I don't even know.
So we are in the Jeep. We're in the recording studio in my driveway. And like you might hear
we're scanning the woods.
You might hear some sound differences because we're like looking like 180 degrees this way. She's got 180 degrees the other way.
Yeah, we are scanning the woods as we're talking.
Oh my gosh.
Just in case we need to take, I don't know, some sort of emergency action, which really just means blowing the horn because we've got nothing else.
Well, we figured that out. Right. What are we going to do if we're sitting in the Jeep and
we don't
the bear
even have the keys? Like we couldn't even drive off. No. We are not well prepared.
Clearly, I'm still in this bubble. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Great.
Yes. So that happened yesterday. And
it's so cool and so frightening all at the same time.
I had to get a grip on that I don't live in a bubble up here.
No. And
the possibility of seeing a bear is a real possibility.
It's 100% possibility because you just saw one.
Clearly. Right.
Yeah.
Like it isn't that they're going to be walking all around, but just not here. Right. That isn't a thing. And I know that it's a little bit seasonal because it's spring and their food sources aren't aplenty yet. So I get all that.
But she apparently has been here before because she's at the campground looking around on picnic tables and things.
It's Yogi.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, you hope.
A picnic?
You hope.
Do you want a picnic? Basket!
You hope that's what she's looking for. Not a fuzzy little puppy.
Oh, well, luckily my puppies don't come outside all that much.
Yeah, so. And not alone.
And not alone.
Yeah.
So today, realizing that I am ill prepared for any level of encounter, whether it be a German Shepherd or a wolf or a black bear or even a snapper turtle.
Yeah, right.
This is more
any
than what I'm used to.
Really.
Right.
Yeah.
I went to the local hardware store and got myself armed with some bear deterrent and an air horn.
So bear spray?
Bear spray. Bear spray deterrent, which shoots 30 feet.
That's way too close if you ask me.
I cannot measure to save my life.
I'm just over 5 feet, so 6 of me. That's way too close.
Tammy, we're just so realistic sometimes. Please do not share these realistic, logical insights. Damn it. I also looked online because there's a rhyme about what you're supposed to do if you are in contact with a bear, and depending on their color, dictates what you do.
Does shit your pants come into that rhyme? Because I feel like that's what happens first.
That's a given.
What rhymes with shit?
That does not need to be stated at all. So I went online because I couldn't remember the rhyme, and I couldn't remember because you do very distinctly different things.
No idea.
Yes. If it's if it's like a brown bear, you lie down or something like that. Like you play
dead.
Something. But a black bear,
you run like hell.
Do not run like hell.
Oh.
That is the worst thing to do.
Okay.
Black bear, you you make yourself big.
Oh.
You make yourself loud, and you slowly back up to where you fucking came from. But you make a whole ton of noise.
Wow.
Which is why the air horn is a thing.
So I can make a lot of noise. I'm never going to be big.
I mean, my noise is probably going to be crying. Just to say, I will be crying because I just shit myself.
Right.
And maybe that won't matter because I'll die from a black bear.
Do you think that smell would keep them away?
I doubt
or does
it.
that draw them in?
They might want to roll in it.
Oh, no.
If you're anything like my dogs.
Oh, gosh.
So I got set up today.
Yeah, you did. Oh, boy. Except for when we came outside, you didn't bring any
I
of
didn't,
it.
and I didn't even take them out of the packages yet. I'm not at all.
You're
I'm
not
still
really
in my
set
bubble.
up, actually.
I'm still in my bubble.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to be ready for a black bear encounter.
Okay. Oh, boy, I'm nervous. Oh, gosh.
And funnily, ironically enough, while I was at the hardware store, our neighbor, a dear woman, she works there. So I sent her a video of the black bear last night already.
Yeah.
And she told me what I needed to get and when you use what, and like it's a whole thing.
Right.
Like she
lives here year round, so she's pretty,
and she has
aware
resources.
already. Yeah.
Right. She has resources at the hardware store who like clued her into all of this.
People know what to do.
Yes.
Not some silly rhyme.
Not me. But yes, other people know what to do. So while she was walking around with me to gather said supplies, there was a guy, I don't even know, between 50 and 60, maybe 65, somewhere in there. I couldn't tell exactly. So she's leading me down aisles and I whiz past this guy. I'm not even like...
You're in a hurry. You're on a timeline. You have to get there and get back real quick.
Exactly. I was limited time. Oh, there's a squirrel. That scared the shit out of me.
Oh, my gosh.
He's big.
Yeah, it is a big squirrel.
Not black bear big, but he's big.
but he's a big, fluffy, fat squirrel.
I don't know what you do for that. If he jumps up here and tries to get us, like...
Well, that might
I'll
be
try the horn.
Death by squirrel. I don't know if I've ever heard of that, but yeah, try the horn. I don't know.
Anyway, this guy looks at me and I'm like, oh my God. Like,
no, he doesn't look at you. He looks at you.
Well, it was clear. It was evident enough that I was like, really, like Chris my friend had already walked by. She didn't notice. And I just kept cruising. Yeah. I was behind her.
But you saw the look.
I did.
It was not just someone who sees you. But
no,
it was a
look.
Hey,
right.
kind of look.
Right. Yes. So we get to where the spray is, right? Yeah. She's talking to me about the spray and like I'm all ears because this is all important
new
shit.
To you.
Right,
yeah.
Right. You use one thing sometimes and you use another thing. It depends on,
on the situation.
So we're talking all about it.
Remember, 6 of me.
Thank you. Try to lure him in a little closer. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So I can deter him.
I guess.
Really,
yeah.
like
come closer so I can spray this in your face, and hope you don't swipe at me in the meantime.
Listen, let's not get me really screwed up with instructions here because I'm a stickler with instructions.
You are. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then we round the corner and I'm racing to get out of there because I have to get back here. I had other things. I had a meeting that I had to make sure I was back in time for. And I'm flying, right? So thank you, Chris, so much. We turn the corner and there is this guy again. The
same one.
And
with the look.
Oh my gosh. And he looked so hard that Chris noticed. And she, bless her heart, for real, I wish that I would have thought fast enough to do it. She stopped right there, not more than one of you away from him. Okay, so
like not definitely bear spray range.
Maybe one Tammy away.
Right.
And she goes, "Don't you hate when guys do that? Like, put your eyes back in your head. And I'm like, damn, girl, because I just would have ran away.
Right.
Like, I would just would have, like,
going.
whatever.
I'll never see him again.
Right. I'm in a hurry. Please don't. Yuck.
It's not worth my time.
Stop.
Yeah.
And she just was like, put your eyes back in your head. She didn't look at him. She did say it real loud.
But it was loud
though.
enough for him to get the message.
And I said, yes, I do hate that. And I took my bear spray and I ran.
And he watched you run all the way to your car.
Oh, my God. Please stop being logical. You're so right.
Oh.
This is why.
Because you're beautiful.
This is why I'm stunned when you.
This is the side effect of macros, just so you know.
Yeah.
Your macro counting has worked real good.
I don't think that would have mattered, frankly.
Well, I don't know.
I wasn't going to stop and ask him.
Would you like me if I weighed 30 pounds more?
I would have had to run faster, I believe. But so I literally had, and I know that this is, a big trend right now with information on social media, but I literally had a bear versus man situation.
Oh, you did.
Within a matter of like 18 hours. Like, what would you prefer?
Yeah. A bear in the woods or a man in the hardware store?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Turns out neither are a good choice.
An ear horn probably works for both of them.
Well, the bear spray probably works for both too.
That's true.
Again,
too.
6 of me.
I get it. Thank you. Please stop saying that. So that was great.
Wow. You have had an adventurous week.
Yeah, that is not like the only highlight of this week.
Oh, there's more.
Well, I also, so I mentioned that I returned to work this week.
Yeah.
And which means that I had to, my 6 weeks of recovery
your final check with your doctor.
Yep, I had to go in on
Surgeon
Tuesday.
Released you.
Yes, and I didn't really know what to expect, right? When I had one other appointment with her about a week and a half after surgery, and it was just a conversation, right? It was not like getting in the weeds. No bits, no nitty-gritty.
Nothing goes in.
Correct. And I was going to make sure that happened, including anything that she had to do.
Right.
But I really wasn't so sure about the 6-week check. I have no idea. I have one.
Never done this before.
One uterus and it's gone. So I never experienced this before. And I thought for a little while that I was going to be safe, asking questions, talking, and then bam, they just sneak that shit right in there. I mean, not that shit.
Really?
I was aware.
That's sneaky.
No. I was aware when that happened, but setting so now we're going to, there it is.
There it is.
That's not what
now we're going to get to the physical part of the exam.
Yes. And I was scared. I was nervous, because nothing's gone in there. So I have no idea what, if it's going to hurt or if it's healing properly or I'm just not sure. Yeah. So I was nervous. It didn't hurt, thankfully. Good. And everything is healing as it should heal.
I would imagine at this point it shouldn't.
Unless something
is wrong.
Bad happened.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was all fine and all good. One of the things that I very much appreciate about this doctor is, and I did not have her as a gynecologist before any of this came up. She was recommended by my primary physician. And so I didn't have any experience with her at all. But I very much appreciate her straightforwardness. You talk about these types of things quietly, or you're a little embarrassed, or there's some weird odd shame around stuff, but she in no way has that kind of tone or demeanor about it. She looks you square in the face and just says it just like she's talking about the weather.
I mean, she deals with human bodies, and she's a gynecologist, so it is a private part of a human body in large part. If she's embarrassed to talk about it, then you'll be uncomfortable and embarrassed, right? Or feel like something must be wrong because she's uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
I do.
There must be something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not normal. Maybe things don't look right or whatever.
I do.
She has to be that way.
I get that, but I think that based off of my many years of experience with gynecologists or, doctors doing those types of exams, it's not the same. There's a different level in there where I think that she is very deliberate about making sure that she is crystal fucking clear
you can't
and doesn't skim by
misunderstand
and
her words.
I know you're embarrassed, so I'm going to quickly, you know what I mean? Like other doctors.
I'll make it easier for you and stop talking about that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she doesn't.
She says what she needs to say until she's done.
Yes.
Wow.
And she has no qualms or quips about it in any sort of way. So although I appreciate that about her, it takes me a little bit like,
you're not used to people talking to you like that about those things.
And looking me square in the face, like locking my eyes and not releasing them until she's done speaking. Like
almost like you're being scolded.
Not scolded. Are you certain that you understand?
Oh, gosh.
Like that type of thing. Like, I'm not going to release my gaze from you until I see that you understand.
Okay.
Don't let anything in there for 6 weeks.
Right.
Like, she had a stronghold on my eyes. Like, are we clear? That's what I do with my kids when they're teenagers and I'm really mad.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you understand.
This will not happen again.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. So
Which sounds scolding to me.
She wasn't scolding, but she was just very adamant and clear.
Yes. Okay. Very direct.
It wasn't
purposeful.
a scold in any way.
Intentional.
Yes, very intentional.
Okay.
And I think that she does that in her role as a gynecologist to break through that weird shame.
Yeah.
Like, we can't talk about this.
Because there shouldn't be. It's
right.
A human body.
Right.
It's just a body part.
Right.
It's just a human function.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So
I love that she's removing that
cannot,
from her perspective.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. And I would recommend her to anyone because she's so straightforward and she removes all of those weird invisible barriers.
I love that.
So as part of that,
human functions.
Oh my gosh. So first we talked about, everything looks good and you're healing just great. And, I remove my feet from the stirrups and then she locks gaze with me.
Good grief.
And she's like, so you're cleared to have sex and, you will want to use some kind of lubricant. It shouldn't be a water-based lubricant. It should be an oil-based lubricant. Coconut oil works great.
Well, like I've always said, if coconut oil can't fix it, you probably don't need it.
I don't even know what to say. Because clearly you're right. Just like all of the other logical things you said today. So I did think of you while she was talking about sex and coconut oil.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's exactly what I want you to think about me.
She said that. Nice. I said,
now I'm uncomfortable.
Said, use coconut oil. I said, that's what my cousin said.
Did you say that? No.
That would be fucking weird.
It's already weird. You have a knack for making weird even more weird. I can't believe you didn't say that.
That was so funny. I did think it, but I was like, no, she's very serious.
Her eyes were locked on. There are no jokes here.
Right. Coconut oil, check.
Got it.
Oh. And then she said, excuse me, she said, Well, the first time or two you have sex, you can probably expect a little bit of spotting. It's normal, it's fine. But by the time you get to like a month from now, if you're still having spotting during sex, then we have a problem and you need to contact us. Very good information to have.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that, again, very, very crystal clear.
You appreciate that.
I do. Except
you like rules. So that is a good one to give you a gauge so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, okay.
If things are right.
Right. Because otherwise I would be worried. Right. And I don't, spotting throughout this whole time has like.
It freaked you out a little bit.
It's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was really happy to get that level of information. But as I sat there and listened to this information.
With your eyes locked tight.
With my eyes locked, stuck there. I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't planning to have sex yet because I'm still really afraid. She
said my intestines could come out. I'm not
procedure,
going there.
Right. The checkup went really well. I didn't have any pain at all. So that's a better indicator. Maybe I'll have sex within the next 3 months. But if there were pain, then
forget it.
I mean,
probably never.
I can't even tell you.
Probably never.
Right. So she's saying this and I'm like, fuck. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting to have sex this soon. Like, my brain is just like, oh my God.
I have to recalculate.
Overload.
Yeah. Recalibrate.
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, shit. Now this screws things up. Now I feel like,
not only do I have to have sex right now.
Right. I feel like I do have to have sex now. Because if I don't have sex now, then I won't know if the spotting, like if I even wait a month, or maybe I was thinking 3 months. Like if I don't have sex for 3 months and I spot then is it okay or is it not okay?
She said the first couple times. Well, first couple times like this week or next month or 3 months.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? I just got this. Like,
so now I have to just have sex a couple of times real quick to get that part over with.
Oh my God. I was like, I'm just not ready for this. This is a lot of commitment.
I had a plan and this was not the plan.
I told Scott, I'm like, listen, this is a big fucking deal. And I am afraid, I am very afraid. Do not expect that, we're going to have sex after 6 weeks. It's just, I'm sorry, Mom. I just realized
that she listens.
My mom listens.
She knows you have sex.
It's all right.
She knows.
She'll be okay.
She knows.
I'll just not call her for a little while. So I told him, I'm like, I know that I'm cleared for sex in 6 weeks, but I can tell you that I am not clear.
Mentally, emotionally, I'm not.
I am scared to death.
On the 6 week train.
And you should just be very patient.
Right.
Right. Because I can't tell you when.
Right.
So it's just you're just gonna have to take my lead.
Just assume it's no until I say, how about it?
Right.
Right.
Well, now
you have to say, how about it?
Jeez, I haven't told him. I haven't told him any of this.
Well, hopefully by the time this airs, you've had that conversation.
I'm scared to death.
Because he does listen.
Well, not as much as he should. So he might miss this one. So
I'll make a real catchy title so he'll want to listen in.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Bear or Scott, listen to this episode.
Right. You should listen, especially if you're Scott.
Not even sure what to say. You're mean. So I'm stuck between a rock and a hard spot at this point because I feel like if I don't follow the rules, then I'm not going to really understand what the results are when I get them and if I get them.
And really more, I think, in terms of knowing what to watch for if something's gone wrong.
Correct.
Right.
That's exactly it. So...
yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess you're just going to have to get back on that horse, young lady.
I didn't realize how much stress this would be.
I think you're making it way more complicated than it needs to be. I think if you didn't have sex for another month, it would be okay. She didn't say, now you must do this, or things will atrophy. She didn't say that. But then
I'm going to have to call them and be like, all right, so listen, I was too afraid to have sex, and now I had sex, and it's now, I don't know, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks later for the first time, and I don't know whether or not I should be concerned about this. And they would be like, oh, girl.
Right. So first of all, I'm sorry for you. Second of all, why don't we have you come in next week?
Right.
I think that you should just be very careful and gentle with yourself, and but really
it would
be okay.
She was very clear about that too. That when it happens, and like locked eyes, the whole shebang. I'm looking at her with past the paper gown, and she's like, "So when you do have sex, like this week or whatever," she didn't say that.
Probably because she saw the look on your face.
That's true. Pure terror.
Right.
She's like, you need to be in charge of the whole thing. And, and she looked at me and she said, you should probably be on top. And again, I don't know that I have ever had a gynecologist have a conversation to that level, which I entirely appreciate.
For sure.
Like, she is busting down all of these cultural shame factors with relation to women's health.
Yeah.
And sex.
There are no barriers there for her.
None.
She really it sounds like you said it exactly right. She wants to make sure that her words and her message is crystal clear.
Correct.
So I'm just going to say it.
Correct.
Right.
And I get that she says it all day, every day. I get that. But there was a distinct difference between my experience with her and anyone I've ever had before.
This is your first encounter with someone who's taken that approach.
She was amazing. She was absolutely amazing.
I'm glad that you were that well cared for.
Thank you. I am too.
And her other patients too, right?
Agree.
So for someone to say, so you should be in control, that could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people,
for
right?
sure.
But
yes.
Very clear,
yes.
Which means you need to be on top.
Right. Right.
Like, it doesn't get any more clear than that.
It does not get more clear. And then my mind is like going a mile a minute because I'm like, well, damn. I mean, I can be on top, but I get really tired out.
How long do I got to stay there? You didn't ask a follow-up question.
I can't switch out when I get a Charlie horse or a cramp in my calf.
Take some magnesium.
Sorry, Mom.
You need to take some magnesium starting now.
So that's where my brain went then. Like, holy
Lisa.
So what's
you are like a runaway train.
Well, I mean, if I'm having sex,
which you were not prepared to do.
I was not prepared at all. But I know how it goes. I do get tired. That's a lot of work. So
and you've been relatively inactive for 6 weeks. So there's that.
Right. Like no cardio in any sort of way.
Right.
This is just fraught with issues. I don't even know what to say.
Finish your self-adventure. I don't know.
Okay, have a good day.
Turns out it doesn't hurt, but my cardio's not there, so I'll see you next week.
Nothing to see here. Carry on. I'll let myself out. Oh my gosh. It was a shit show. I was so stressed about this now.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then she
are wound tight.
Well, she looked at me and she's like, do you have any questions? And I'm like, no. Are you sure you don't have any questions? Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I have 1,000 questions.
So many questions, but I don't have one word for any of them.
Accurate. And I don't think you're going to be able to tell me the answers to any of these things.
Because then it will be awkward.
Oh, God.
I didn't feel any shame, but I will if I ask you the questions that are running through my head.
That's right. Oh, Lord. So that was my week.
Poor thing. You really have... That's one heck of an adventure right there.
It's been a doozy of a week.
Wow. The week's not even over yet.
I know. You are right about that.
Wow. Wowee.
I talked a lot.
That's all right. It was good. And I'm sorry it was funny at your expense, but it was funny.
It's not funny yet.
I kind of want to say, let us know how it goes, but I'm not sure I really want to know.
No.
Yeah, I feel like that's something you can keep to yourself.
Right.
Your mom really doesn't want to hear that.
No, my mom does not want to hear that. My mom does not. I will keep the rest of that.
That's as far as you're going with that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fair.
Correct.
That's fair. Well, good luck then.
What happens in Beaver? I'm just kidding.
Lisa.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. I think we better wrap this up.
Full circle.
We better wrap it up. This is over.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd. Mind Garden Media. Find him on Facebook if you want to do a podcast.
Oh, shit.
Thanks to our listeners. We gotta go.
Bye.
See ya.